Well, Diana's former butler Paul Burrell is here with royal editor Russell Myers. They're saying there it was like a reality show. Well, it kind of is, isn't it?
They're not just 4 hours now, are they?
Yeah.
And they're going to go for 6 hours.
Yes.
And whinge through 6 hours, telling us how unfortunate they are living in their Beverly Hills mansion with all that money.
It's so bizarre, isn't
smacks.
it? And sad as well. We were saying that earlier on, weren't we, Russell, how sad it all was. But, Paul, what struck me, and I've only seen the first episode, so I can only go by that, the comparisons with Diana. Diana's presence in that first episode is everywhere, isn't it?
Talk about exploiting the princess's image, and talk about showing images which William does not want to be seen again on television. There's bound to be conflict between the two boys. Meghan isn't Diana. Diana's from a different age, a different person, different time, and things happen to her that will never happen to Meghan. You know, this couple could have had it all, Lorraine.
We were saying that earlier, I know.
They would have been at the heart of the royal family now, as the king's family. They would have been protected by the police and royal palaces and royal security. They would have been phenomenal for the royal family. Instead, they chose a commercial route. They chose to cash in. They chose the money above everything else. And I think that's what this is all about.
And do you think there's no way back now after this?
No, I don't think you're going to see them at the coronation. I think the king will be absolutely furious, and William will not be happy about all of this exploitation. And I think they should stay in America.
Gosh, it's strange that it's come
I
to
love
this,
Harry.
Yeah,
I love him. I've always defended him.
Yes.
You know, every time I've come on the programme, I said, look, he's Diana's son. He said that. I first met him when he was in his mummy's tummy. Diana took her hand and placed it on her bump and said, "Meet Harry." And he kicked. And I told Harry that, and he filled up with tears. So I'm part of that world. I'm part of their lives, and I don't like this. It's very sad.
The palace have said that they are weary of it. It's kind of like more in sorrow than anger. Do you think they'll say anything, judging by the past?
I think William will stay quiet.
Do you?
I do. I think he's stoic. He's very pragmatic. He'll think, well, let him have his say. And that truth isn't always the real truth. Remember what our beloved Queen said, our recollections may vary. Well, when the British public see this, don't be fooled. Look beyond it, because there's more to the story than they're actually projecting, because this is carefully edited, produced, directed by them to make them look victims. They weren't always victims. Harry led a very privileged life, and his mother always said to him, the price you pay for this privileged life is public service. And Harry chose not to do that. He chose to turn his back on this country and on his public service and live a lifestyle in Hollywood.
And surely now, though, I mean, I don't know, Russell, but surely now we've got this, as Paul says, the 6 hours, then there's going to be the book. Surely after that it's time to let it go, and there can't be anything else to say,
No,
though.
well, like you said, the palace have grown weary of it, and people I was speaking to over the last week or so have said that if there were inaccuracies, if they felt backed into a corner, then they would be met with a robust defence. But I think from what I've seen up to now, in this first three episodes, I don't think there will be any response, because they've almost gone too far. There's a lot of narrative forming here, and by saying, you know, we were the victims, we were caught up in the machine. I mean, there's a part where Meghan talks about meeting William and Kate for the first time, and she went up to them and hugged them and said, oh, well, I was a hugger, and sort of paints the picture that they're just these stiff bodies caught in this machine. Well, it's not really like that. I think that, you know, William and Kate know about their duty. They've bought into the environment that they're in, and they know that they can be a force for good. And when they said that they were just caught up in the machine, well, they've left it to earn hundreds of millions of dollars.
I know,
so that's the problem I have with it.
I always think, what would Diana say?
What do you think, though? What would have happened? I mean, I know we can speculate.
It would not have happened if she'd been here. But she would remind Harry of his position. And she would say to him, you were born into this family. I'm proud that my sons are part of this family. And she was proud to be part of the royal family. And the royal family is bigger than any one person. And
you know, even the Queen?
Yes, even the Queen.
I know.
And I think she would be very upset and unhappy that Harry was saying so much, so many private things, showing so many private images, like the child looking at Granny Diana. I thought that was very carefully orchestrated and very private. And I think she would be very upset by this.
They do.
She would always say, come to me.
Yes.
If there's a problem,
Yes.
my door is always open.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
That's true. They do talk a lot about harassment.
That happens to all celebrities.
Do you know what?
You know that.
I know it's really difficult, but you do have to somehow try and ignore it. It's
Switch off.
horrible. Just don't go on these sites and don't let anybody draw your attention to them, because everybody experiences it, and it's vile. It's absolutely vile, and the people that do it are vile and horrible, but you just have to somehow...
It's slightly narcissistic if you look at it all the time. You want to know what's being said about you.
Yeah.
And I think
They even
that's
would
the
have been
case.
horrible about Diana, Paul.
Of course.
If all these things had been
Yes.
around, they would have. They would have had a go,
They would.
which is very sad, but they would have done that.
I just hope they learn. They've said the truth now. They've done it. But of course, you have to wait for the exclusives to come in the book, because, you know, the publishers haven't paid millions of pounds for nothing. There's got to be something a little sharper coming later. So this is only the first salvo into the
Yeah,
book.
I agree. I think this is the softening up of the public opinion, and certainly the book will have to be more explosive because it's a memoir, and as Paul says, they haven't paid millions of dollars to just have a slight.
Don't
tickling,
go
as it
for your
were.
brother. Don't go for Kate. You know, those two have never put a foot wrong, and she's been exemplary. Talk about women surviving in the royal family. Look at Kate Middleton.
That's true. Harry did say that, you know, it was horrendous for women to go into this institution, he said. And it's certainly some people it didn't work out for, of course. But you're right. You know,
And
you're
Sophie
talking
Wessex.
about- Yes.
She survived.
Yes.
Because they knew how to conform to the system.
Yeah.
The system does have a hierarchy. You have to know your place in it. You see, Meghan could never be a star of this show. She could only be a supporting actress.
Right, okay.
You see, so I think by leaving the royal family, then she can be a star on her own platform in her own country.
But we said earlier, do you not think that he always wanted to go, that he wasn't happy in the whole institution after his mother died?
I think he's had mental health problems for a long time since his mother died. I was there. He rushed down the corridor and flung himself into my arms, and he wet my shirt with his tears.
Oh, God.
His heart broke, and that's when the nation fell in love with him.
Absolutely, of course.
And there is a special place for him in everybody's hearts. In
Totally.
Britain. But people will say eventually, enough.
I think so. I think after this and after the book, I just think go and live your life. You're so lucky. You've got two beautiful children, an amazing home. You love each other very much.
Yes.
Just go for it.
Wish them all the
Thank you
best.
both. Thank you so, so much.